Tell us about Sam Burns. I'm thinking he might be a little bit fatigued after such an emotional United States victory.
Well, it was interesting. He did celebrate with his U.S. teammates Sunday night and the international team. I asked him how deep did the party go. He said we shut it down around midnight. He flew from there to his home near Shreveport, Louisiana on Monday, had basically most of that day off, had all of Tuesday off. And this morning, he and his wife, Caroline, drove here from Shreveport to Jackson. He'll be part of the afternoon Pro-Am today. And I caught up with Sam earlier, and I asked him, physically and mentally, where is he heading into this championship?
Yeah, I feel great. Obviously last week was a lot of golf and a lot of intense matches, but, this is what I do from a day-to-day basis, and I'm excited to be here this week and ready to compete.
Can you point out some fond memories?
There's a lot. I think overall just, having a team atmosphere is just so rare that we get that throughout the year on the PGA Tour, and to be able to experience that for me, for my first, team event, it was unbelievable. I mean, Charlotte was amazing. The fans were incredible. So overall, it was awesome.
Scotty made the Ryder Cup team, your good friend Scotty Scheffler, and he said after that he felt like he belonged as an elite player. And then we saw what happened after that. He ascended to #1 in the world. Do you feel like that could transcend to you as well?
Sure. I mean, I hope so. I think, being around that many quality players and playing a bunch with them and getting to know them even more, I feel like it definitely gives you kind of a boost of confidence. And I feel like I was able to play really well last week under some, a lot of pressure. And so I think, that experience can only help.
Final thing, what is it about this golf course that you like?
I don't know, whether it's a combination of, growing up on a golf course very similar to this with Bermuda grass and, being so close to home, I think it just kind of has that feel of, what I'm used to and where I grew up. And the golf course is obviously in great shape. It always is. The greens are always perfect. So I'm just excited to be back.
You heard Sam talk about this tournament being so close to home. He is in Shreveport, like I mentioned, roughly 2 hours away. You may think that New Orleans is closer to Shreveport, or maybe Houston. No, Jackson, Mississippi is closer to Shreveport, so Sam treats this as his hometown tournament on the PGA Tour. Just a couple of weeks ago, he came here for Champions Day to visit children in the Children's Hospital of Mississippi and the staff there. He held a first tee clinic with some kids here, and he also visited with the volunteers. So he is very proud of winning the Sanderson Farms Championship. He would love to repeat again. He would probably be as proud as Damon Hack was of finishing second in Pebble Beach.
Oh, you heard about that, Todd. Amazing. He's a very modest.
Oh, how can you not?
Okay, well, good to hear from the defending champ there, Todd. Now, the Country Club of Jackson, they're hosting this event for the 9th consecutive year. The players know it pretty well by now. What is it about this course? We heard Sam touch on it a bit there, but what do they like so much about it?
Well, the secret is out on the PGA Tour about the Country Club of Jackson. This is a great golf course, and you start with the greens. These greens are so mint, very pure. The rolls are incredibly true. Champion Bermuda, and I've been out on the golf course today. They are rolling at around 14 on the stem. That is far above the average on the PGA Tour. And if you are downhill and down grain on these greens, whew, man, they are fast. They'll feel like they're 18 to 20, but they are so true. So the greens are really, really top-notch here at the Country Club of Jackson. One thing that's going to be a challenge for the tour players here this week is the rough. The tour has thinned out the top of the rough, meaning that the top of the rough cannot support a golf ball. And so when it lands in the rough, it sinks to the bottom, and it's 2.5 inches of thick Bermuda rough, and it's hard to control a golf ball, even at this level, at that kind of rough. So that will be the challenge. But this community embraces this tournament so much, and like I said, this golf course is fantastic. This is a sneaky little gem on the PGA Tour schedule.
T-Lou, how about the future? Because since this became a full-fledged PGA Tour event back in '94, it's been held in the fall all but 8 times. The changes that are coming to the fall portion of the tour schedule next year, how will these fall events be impacted?
Well, let's first talk about how important the fall events are on the PGA Tour schedule. 4 of the last 6 FedEx Cup champions won a tournament in the fall, including Rory McIlroy, who won the FedEx Cup earlier this year. He won the CJ Cup, if you remember, last fall. So it's important for a lot of those players to come out and play in the fall and get a head start in the FedEx Cup rankings. It's important for guys trying to make a name for themselves on the PGA Tour. As a matter of fact, 6 of the last 8 winners of the Sanderson Farms Championship, all first-time winners on the PGA Tour. So consider that. But also moving ahead, the PGA Tour announced at the Tour Championship that next year only the top 70 will make the FedEx Cup playoffs. And although this is still slightly a work in progress, from what we understand, position 71 and on the FedEx Cup standings will have to play in the fall to secure their card for the PGA Tour. Now, you may think that would hurt some of the fall events. Well, consider this. Look at the FedEx Cup standings from the past season from position 71 through 125. And if those players came here to Jackson, Mississippi and competed in the Sanderson Farms Championship, you'd have a pretty decent field. Daniel Berger, Justin Rose, Jason Day, Webb Simpson, Ricky Fowler, just to name a few. Talking with Steve Gent, who is the tournament director for the Sanderson Farms Championship, he said that would actually enhance the fall events. It definitely would enhance his tournament. So he seems to be embracing this real possibility of players outside of the top 70 coming into the fall and playing events that will help secure their card moving forward. So we're just going to have to see when all the final details comes out from Padre and the PGA Tour.